Okay, converting your Python code that you coded in idle to Kodi. Now, I like to code in idle first because it's quick, it's easy, and basically, yeah, that's about it. I just find it easier, and then I just transfer it over to Kodi. So if we start by doing, if you see my last tutorial on if and else if, I've done the football table. And I'll just show you how to quickly do this in idle. Make sure you have requests installed. I'll put a tutorial, I'll put a link in the bottom that you have to open command prompt, copy and paste in, and it'll install requests for you. And you've got to have Python 2.7 installed. So we'll start by our imports. So we want to import re, and we want to import requests. Okay. Now we'll start with our requests, so it'd be r equals requests dot get, and then we put our URL in there, and I have the URL here. So we cut that, paste it in. Match is equals re dot compile dot find all, make sure it's find, and we'll do our r dot content. Now in these brackets we've got our regex code, so I have my regex code here. So for, and I've defined two values here that I want to collect. The first one is the URL, so URL, and the second one is the name. So for URL and name, that is in match, I want to print. So print name, and we don't need to print a URL at the moment. Now press F5. Just give it a second. There you go, it's loaded up the name. It's normally quicker than that, I don't know why it's taking so long. Just press F5 again. Now this, as I said, this is normally a quick way for me to do my regex code. Is to do it in idle, and then you can just run it. But now we've got this. Now how do we copy that over to Kodi? Now what it is, let's get rid of the old stuff. Okay, so if you just copy it and we just paste it in anywhere and save it and then try to run it, it's not going to work. Now our imports is, you can just cut that out, and if the import's in the top, then add it. Now we've got our requests, request.get. Now you want to add 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, as long as if it's under a defined value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll save it. Now if you try to run it, it's not going to do anything. It's not coming up. Now if you scroll down to where you see your add directories, now you can pick any one of these options. Now I'm going to go for just a simple add directory. So I need the name, the URL, the mode, and the icon image. You don't necessarily need them all, but as you see, we've got the URL here, we have the name here, So if we just change this to add directory, then there's 4 defined values. So our first one is the name. So we're not going to add anything to name, so just put name. URL, we're not going to add anything to the URL, so just URL. And the mode, we'll just put 2 for now. And we haven't really got any icon image yet, so we'll just save it. Now, when we run it, it comes up. Because sometimes it's, I find it easier in idle. You can also just make sure for the prints, you just add the name, or you can add it in the name. So if we print URL as well, so at least we know it's working. And then we just transfer over. Okay, that's a small tutorial on converting your Python code over to Kodi.